Hey guys. So, disclaimer, because I always get that one person calling me a phobe, Isterism, or whatever. If you do this, or if someone does this, I'm not saying you, because I would hope that the people watching me are smart enough to not do this. If you do this kind of crap, you are a garbage human being. So, I'm sure we've all seen this whole Carlee Russell thing. Woman goes missing, saying she was trying to help a child, a toddler in the middle of the street. Um, Goes missing. 2 days later or so, she comes right back on foot, and that's that nationwide, or not nationwide, but statewide search. Um, but she pretty much, it was a hoax. For the most, pretty much, it was a hoax. So I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. If you do this, you're a piece of crap human being. If an alien came to this planet and did it, I would call it a garbage other being, whatever they want to be called. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're purple, green, pink, orange. It doesn't matter. If you do this crap, you're a garbage human being. Because whatever the motive is, whether it be to have a GoFundMe set up for you so you can pretty much get rich easy, to cause even more racial division in this country than there already is. Um, and while that's happening, you're having resources being taken up to find your stupid ass. All for what? You weren't really taken. So you have statewide search going for you, resources being taken up. You're a garbage human being. Um, so the top story, the story of Carlee Russell, a 25-year-old nursing student who allegedly was kidnapped in Alabama last week while attempting to help a toddler on the interstate, and her mysterious return home have captivated national attention. But law enforcement officials are now saying she may not have been abducted at all, and there's no evidence of a lost child. Because normally when a lost, mine goes off all the freaking time. I'll be sitting here, and it's like Amber Alert. Um, so if there's ever a lost child, it's reported like almost immediately. At least around here, because it seems like maybe once a week, once every couple days, I get a freaking Amber Alert thing saying, flashing like missing child in whatever county or whatever. Um, so here's what we know about the case so far. So after leaving for work, a day of dinner and grabbing dinner, she was walking the terrible streets of Alabama when two white men in MAGA hats appeared before her and said, "This is MAGA country," and they picked her up and threw her into the car and drove off into the night. Oh wait, no, that was partially what happened to Juicy Smouye. Uh, all these hoaxes are so hard to remember. They're all the same in the end because they all have the same nasty intentions in them. Um, Russell, while driving I-459 in Hoover, Alabama, just off of Birmingham, called 911 to report a lost child in a diaper. To report that a lost child in a diaper was wandering along the side of the highway. Very likely story. Um, the fact that this child apparently, I mean, I don't know about you, but around here, people would be stopping if they were on the highway and saw a freaking child, a toddler apparently in a diaper. People would be stopping. Um, uh, Spoke to official after she called the police. Officials say Russell called the family member who lost contact with her during the call, but the line remained open. Traffic camera footage released later by police showed Russell pulling over, exiting driver's side of her red Mercedes and walking around to the passenger side of the vehicle. But by the time police arrived, 3 minutes later, Russell had disappeared. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance remain a mystery, with police releasing little information besides that they had no other calls about a missing child. Just before 10:45 p.m. on Saturday, about 49 hours after she was first disappeared, Russell returned home on foot, ending a 2-day statewide search. Medics were dispatched to Russell's home after she had returned on Saturday to help an unresponsive but a breathing person. But when they arrived, Russell was awake and speaking. After receiving medical attention, Russell spoke with the investigators Sunday, and they observed a small lip injury, a tear in her shirt, and saw that she had 107 in cash in her right sock. Kind of random. She also gave investigators her account of what happened July 13th. Police say Russell told them a man came out of the woods and told her he was checking on the child, and then forced her over a fence and into a car. The next thing she could remember, Russell told investigators she was being in the trailer of a truck with a man with orange hair and a woman while hearing a baby crying. She should have just said that the dude had a MAGA hat on. Seriously. Seriously. You know, if people are stupid enough to believe that, two white men in Chicago would be walking around with MAGA hats on, they'd believe it's in Alabama. Be like, well, that's redneck central. That's where all of dumb Donald Trump supporters are living, right down in the South. They're all stupid. So you should have just said some dude in a MAGA hat, and you would have gotten more money for your fucking problems. And people would have taken it more seriously, because it's like, it's those evil MAGA supporters again. Just like look what they did to poor Juicy Smouye. Russell further alleged that the man and woman took her to a home and took photos of her while she undressed, before she claimed she was able to escape and run through the woods to get home. Now, Contra, great game. Since she returned home, law enforcement officials have been able to verify details of her allegation. Through their investigation, police learned Russell purchased snacks from Target before she went missing. But when police located her car, snacks were not among the items found. At the time, police officers found a wig, cell phone, and purse on the roadway near her abandoned car. And it makes sense, because you'll find out that this woman looked up like Taken and, stuff like that. So you see stuff like that in movies where people are kidnapped and all their items are just conveniently on the ground, not scattered about as if there was an actual struggle, but just like conveniently placed on the fucking ground. It's like, her wallet's right here. Ugh, where is she? I mean, come on. Honestly, she should have just like taken her wig, put it on the ground, and neatly stacked everything on top of it. That would have made it even better. For us, anyway. Let's see. Roadway in her abandoned car. The Hoover Police Department said in a Facebook post. Investigators also said Wednesday they did not find any evidence of a toddler on the interstate. You don't say. Surprising fact. The Hoover Police Department, with the help of the U.S. Secret Service, said they analyzed Russell's internet search history. Among the searches they found were Google searches of the live-action thriller kidnapping movie Taken, the day she was reportedly abducted. Coincidence? I think not. If anyone thinks that's a coincidence, or that this woman is truly telling the truth, I've got a bridge I'd like to sell you. Let's see. Abducted. Other search results described by investigators of Russell's cell phone or work computer include searches on the maximum age for an Amber Alert, and whether or one has to pay for an Amber Alert. Authorities said Russell also searched how to take money from a register without getting caught, and a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville. Tangent. They're like horrible episode names. Episode 3, Tangent. On Tuesday, Russell's parents did an interview, which I've seen, and it's almost like they were in on it, or they knew when she got back that it was all bull crap, and they just kind of like we were just protecting our daughter. On Tuesday, Russell's parents did an interview with NBC Today's Show to discuss her daughter's disappearance, saying she was not in a good state when she returned home. Her mother said there were moments when she physically had to fight for her life. God. And the best acting nomination goes to... Seriously. And there were moments where she had to mentally fight for her life. What we don't know. Investigators have said they've only interviewed Russell once. Why? And it's unclear if and when they will speak to her. Why? Why? Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzes told reporters that the events surrounding Russell's disappearance and subsequent return home are still under investigation. Big number. 63,000. That's about how much money, reward money was collected by the nonprofit Crime Stoppers of Central Alabama, collected in exchange for anyone with information about Russell's disappearance. Initially, Crime Stoppers Central of Alabama said that the money would be sent back to the donors after Russell reappeared. But they later announced that there would be no longer, that would no longer be the case. This investigation is still ongoing, and accordingly, there's no basis to refund any contributions at this time. The organization said in a statement. Wow. So basically, this woman clearly faked it. Her motives are still unclear, but as I said, it's either she was a quick, an easy, quick getaway, get rich scheme, trying to cause racial division by saying he was a white man, showing she's a garbage human being because, again, statewide, so resources were taken up to find her stupid ass. And they're saying, oh, she was, at some point she was unresponsive. It's called acting. I think one of the best things of that I can think of is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If you remember at the end of the movie, with when they're driving back, and Ferris is looking at the numbers of the miles and all that, and he's like, "Hey Cameron, how many miles did you say this had before we left?" And then you notice that there's like 300 more miles on it, and then Cameron like loses his shit and like goes into this state of shock. Yeah, it's called acting, and I think that's because it was believable. But then at the end, part of it, he kind of shows when he's like the Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. Kind of shows he was like faking it to some extent. But that's pretty much what I imagine this girl doing. And for what purpose? For what purpose? I mean, there was the where is it? How to take money from a register, so it sounded like she was trying to be a fucking worthless criminal. And again, I don't care if you're white, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're Hispanic. You can be a freaking 5-mouthed, 6-armed alien. I don't give a crap. If you do this, you're a piece of shit. So, sounds like she wanted to commit a crime, possibly did it, or failed in it, and instead of just going home, she knew she was probably on camera doing it, like, oh, better stage a kidnapping so people will forget about this horrible thing I just did, and like, oh my god, she was missing for 72 hours. I'm so glad she's back. Congratulations, lady. You're a fucking piece of shit. And if your parents know that you faked all this and they're covering up for you, your parents are pieces of shit too. Just saying. And they should be ashamed of themselves that they're going along with it. It kind of reminds me of Casey Anthony. That case still fucking gets to me. We know damn fucking well she killed her kid. We know damn well. It's not a coincidence that she had searched up chloroform on her fucking computer not too long before her daughter died. But no, somehow she walks away. And her parents either knew after the fact or whatever, and they were continuously just defending her. And it pisses me off when parents do that. I understand they're your kid. I understand you love them. But there comes a point where you have to, you kind of need to turn yourself in. We don't want to be part of this. We don't want to get this heat. You need to do the right thing and turn yourself in. But it's just the parents who do this. But yeah, it's And by again, what was the purpose? You know, she's a freaking nursing student, right? So she's in school. I mean, I don't know her money situation, but what was the end game here? What was the end game? Because all you've done is just expose yourself as a garbage human being by faking this. I stopped on it was the middle of the night, and there was this toddler on the ground, and he was walking down the highway, and he was wearing a diaper, and it was -9 degrees out, and two men and Mac. I just, I mean, when people first heard this, they were basically saying it was like Jussie Smollett all over again. You think after, you would think that if a celebrity couldn't get away with it, what makes you think you can? If a jury and the nation, actually the world, could look at Jussie Smollett and say, no, that fucking bitch is lying. He is fucking lying. If a celebrity couldn't get away with it, why do you think you could? What privilege do you think you have that makes you think you can get away with it? So, after these guys do their investigation, which shouldn't be that long because this bitch is clearly lying, hopefully she gets her just desserts and you know, is taken in. Again, resources spent and wasted trying to find her stupid ass. And she's just like, I'm home. Rev up those fryers. I'm starving here. Just, I mean, come on. The fact that she looked up Taken, looked up stuff for Amber Alert age, and stuff about how money from a register. You honestly believe that this person was just taken by someone all conveniently on the same day where she looks the shit up? Come on. Come on. And if you truly believe this, you must have been one of those idiots who believe that Juicy Smouye was freaking innocent. That he really was just an innocent person going to fucking Subway at 2 a.m. On the cold streets of Chicago when he was approached by two men wearing MAGA hats, where they called him all kinds of slurs and poured bleach on him and put a noose around his neck and ran off into the night. And then, when the police get there, he's still got the freaking rope around his neck. I just want to show you guys that it happened. So, we don't know the end game here. We don't know what she wanted. Again, they showed about the whole money from a register. I don't know if she attempted it and failed and decided, oh, I'm just going to stage a kidnapping because I'm smart. Or what the case is. But resources were put into trying to find her stupid ass. And if her parents are defending her and covering up for her, you guys are pieces of shit too. Simple as that. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.